SNAP, the Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests, are in Stevens Point this morning to publicly announce or reach out to those that may have been harmed or know of harm committed by Christian brother Raimond Rose, who taught here at Pacelli in 1969 and 1970. Prior to that, Raimond Rose taught at De La Salle, Christian brother De La Salle High School in Minneapolis, and there were family reports to the school that Raimond Rose was sexually abusing their son. So the Christian brothers had prior knowledge to the sex crimes of Raimond Rose before they quietly picked him up and dropped him on the unsuspecting families and children in Wisconsin. Wisconsin has one of the most unique criminal sexual offender laws in the country. If you rape children in Wisconsin and you flee, the statute of limitation, criminal statute of limitation in Wisconsin stops tolling. That's why we are asking those that know of, were harmed or know of issues of sexual abuse by Raimond Rose here or any place else in Wisconsin to dial 911 and report it. We also encourage those that may have been sexually abused by Raimond Rose to seek legal advice, because the Wisconsin Supreme Court last year ruled that if an institution knows somebody is offending and they don't warn the next place where they drop him, that is fraud. 1970, February, the end of February, first part of March, there was a field trip from this school where they went to the nation's capital, places such as the new John F. Kennedy gravesite, and they went to a Broadway play in New York. I know that not everybody went to the play. Some people decided to stay back in a hotel room with the chaperone, Raimond Rose. Raimond Rose's pattern is to take teenage boys, give them more alcohol than they've ever seen or ever consumed it before, even some marijuana. So now when they're vulnerable, he has at them. If one of the kids fends him off, he's got 2 or 3 more for his own sexual gratification. That's his pattern, from the 60s all the way through the 90s. You guys want to say anything?
The only thing I'd want to say is that in order to begin the healing process, you must break your silence. That's what helped me heal, start to heal. It was when I broke my silence.
Pretty loud today, too.
This is my first one of these.
Is that first public?
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah, it was 50 years before I told anybody about my abuse. This was me at that age, 13. And I'm still looking for justice. It was a serial abuser. I know kids he abused in the parish that he was first placed in. He was placed in my parish. It was his 3rd assignment. Between the late 40s and early 50s, there were 3 priests in my parish, Sacred Heart, Ojai, in Iowa, who were abusing children. The priest who abused me, a settlement was made with the Archdiocese of Dubuque against him at a parish that he was placed in after my parish. And right now, I have a lawsuit against the Archdiocese of Dubuque. I don't think healing will start until I can have my story public, legally settled. I just like to say that I was raised Catholic, but what I feel now is that any religion that can't tell the truth about itself doesn't have anything to say to me.
Dan, have you ever stood publicly and mentioned the fact you had been sexually abused as a child?
Not like this, not public, no. Of course, I had to do a deposition for the lawsuit, and I did. I wrote the Dubuque Archdiocese Review Board when they were first formed in 2002. That was when I first told it.
Now you're telling the whole world, Dan.
I thought for sure that the Archdiocese would review his record and go back through his records. They didn't. When they published a list of priests who had been accused, his name was not on the list. Even though the Archdiocese answered my letter and said I was the 5th person to write them about this priest, they did not publish his name on their list of abusers. So now I'm trying to
Who was your abuser?
Reverend Robert Swift, Archdiocese of Dubuque.
Who was your abuser?
Reverend Raimond Rose of the La Crosse Diocese.
My abuser, Reverend Robert Swift, was first placed in Holy Family Parish in Mason City, Iowa. And I've been in touch with 2 boys who were abused by him. And they told their father, and their father took them in to see the pastor. And the pastor called Reverend Swift in, and their father punched him right in the mouth, they said. And Reverend Swift was immediately moved to another parish. So he was an abuser from his very first assignment, and the Archdiocese knew about it.
Dan, I understand you have 6 children now.
9. I had 9 children go through Pacelli. They went through after Brother Raimond Rose was here. But because of my experience with abuse and the fact that I had 9 kids go through here, I really feel that I want to reach out to any other kids.
Part of the activity today is a hand-delivered letter to the principal here, and later on today to the principal at Xavier. Before I came here, I went up to local law enforcement just to introduce myself and answer any questions that they would have. There I found out that the school was saying that we're here to protest with some concern. If you went up to that school door right now, it's locked. They got a lockdown in the school. The letter that we deliver identifies the fact that childhood abuse is the primary social sickness in this nation. And that's from the Center for Disease Control. In essence, what we're asking this school to do is to reach out to those that were alumni, are alumni from this school. Reach out, contact them, say you understand that when Raimond Rose, if you were a student here and had contact with Raimond Rose, and if you had been harmed or know of some issues, to call law enforcement. That's all we're asking them to do. But they locked the door on us, so they couldn't get that social improvement message. And then you have a man standing here who raised 9 children, worked hard so he could send them to this school. And then you have another lady here, born and raised Stevens Point, also standing here, doing the right thing, bringing social awareness of sexual abuse, Raimond Rose,